YouTube, how's it going? And welcome back to AJ's Garage. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, I hope you please consider subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, head over to the link in the description for PayPal tip jar. Anything from that goes directly back into the channel, whether it be parts or tools, whatever's needed. So today's video should be an easy one, hopefully. We're going to be working on the tailgate. I don't know if you guys can tell in the video, but we will get you a closer look. The tailgate here on the left side is sagging, so I'm not sure if that's because of the hinge that bolts up to the bed on this left side, or if it's the actual pocket for it on the tailgate. Hopefully it's not that, so we don't have to do any welding. It should be fairly simple either way, but let's get started. Alrighty, so getting a closer look at the tailgate, you guys can clearly tell that it sits about a ½ inch lower from the top of the bed here. As we move down, the gap is actually not that bad, but you can clearly tell that this body line here is off. So moving over to the passenger side, it's actually not too bad here up top, but as you go down, this is where it gets pretty snug, causing it to be a little difficult, or it catches a little bit when we open the tailgate. So let me get the tailgate off and we'll see what's causing the problem. So real quick before I get the rest of the tailgate off, I just want to show you guys the polyurethane bushings that I ordered. I got these off of lmctruck.com. Here is the part number. I'll also include it in the description. Giving you guys a closer look. This is what it'll look like. So it just bolts up in the stock place. Then you got the little polyurethane bushing, and then this will fit, of course, in the part of the tailgate. So you just kind of press that on. And the original parts were, of course, metal, and making metal on metal contact. That's what probably caused the tailgate to wear over time in use, so they'll start to sag. This shouldn't give us any issues with that. And then I also ordered these little rubber stoppers that go right below the hinge point near the top, so this should give it a nice quiet close and keep it from rattling as we're driving. So let's get the tailgate off and we'll get this all put on. Tailgate is off, and this is the driver's side that was sagging. I know the lighting doesn't quite give you that good of a view in here, and I'll take a picture so you guys can see it better, but just on quick inspection, I can definitely tell that this edge here is warped up over time. This is the hinge. They're stamped at some pretty heavy duty steel, and there's definitely nothing wrong with either one of these. But if we just do this, there is way too much play. So what I'm going to do is tap this one back down. We'll probably weld in a small little triangle piece to keep this from coming up. I'll also do that on the other side just to prevent it from happening again on that side once this is fixed, and then we'll get it all put back together. Alrighty, so at this point I'm ready to weld in the support piece. I was able to get it back into its shape. It has very little play, just about the same amount of play that the other side has. And the way that I got it back into shape without distorting it too much, especially because this back side here is the original shape, and I didn't need to hammer that inside piece down, just this outer lip, is I just used a flat bar that I had, about 5 inches long, 1 inch wide, and I held it flush against the tailgate here and hit it up from the top. So at whatever point the bar came in contact with this whole surface evenly, I knew that was far enough. So let's get this welded in on both sides, and then we'll put the tailgate back on. losing daylight, but hopefully you guys can see this okay. I got the two little angled support pieces welded in. Not my greatest work as far as the welds go, but they'll hold. I was more concerned with getting them solid up and down here. That way any pressure from the tailgate pushing up this way would prevent this from kind of warping again. I did add some tack welds on the side here just to make sure this didn't eventually break off, but I'll probably go back and clean those up a little bit. Of course, no one's ever going to see it. No one's going to know besides myself. But I do want to go back eventually and kind of make that look a little neater. But I got it sprayed down with some weld-through primer. Now let's get the tailgate back on the truck. And the tailgate is back on. Everything's buttoned up. I did also replace or buy new hardware, new bolts for the brackets. Probably wasn't necessary, but just went ahead and replaced those. There are the rubber stoppers as well that I showed you guys in the beginning of the video. There is adjustability with the brackets. You are able to move the tailgate up or down on either side and kind of in and out so that everything lines up as best as possible. I'm sure you were able to do that with the original ones as well. But the real test now is how smoothly does it close? So making a little noise. I probably should have bought some lithium grease or something like that to put on the bushings just so that they weren't making any squeaking sounds like that, but it's already a lot quieter. The original ones were a lot noisier just because it was metal and metal contact, so it wasn't as quiet, but some lithium grease should help quiet that down. But as you guys can see, the top lines up really, really well. And so does this side. It was a little bit difficult to close, so I probably do need to adjust the latch piece here on the inside, but for now I'm just going to leave it alone. I like how secure it is. Definitely doesn't make any noise if I'm shaking or pulling on the tailgate like I just did. And just looks a lot better. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I appreciate you guys and hope you continue to enjoy the content.